EV sales are nowhere near what this president wanted.
What you're about to witness is a lesson in whoop ass. In this corner is Pete Buttigieg, the Secretary of Transportation. And in this corner is Fox News. Spoiler alert, I hope Pete can get his leg back because it's so far up there. Well, just watch.
Let me just pursue that if I could with you. Tesla sales fell 8.5% the first quarter of this year. Ford this week is laying off 2/3 of its workforce at the F-150 electric Lightning plant. It's also scaling back a battery production facility because of sagging sales. EV sales are nowhere near what this president wanted or expected, yet the administration continues to shove them down consumers' throats.
Fox News must be tired of the consistent beatdown they get every time they interview Biden's Secretary of Transportation. You can see it in their eyes. We got him this time. Yeah, we're going to get him. Yeah. And then...
Well, let's be clear. Consumers have wanted and purchased more EVs every single year than the year before. And, Tesla is facing more competition as GM and Ford and Stellantis and other competitive players start to make sure they get a piece of the EV market.
This whole interview was a setup, planned as a way to attack Biden's economy, and Pistol Pete shot him down. Now, Buttigieg answers a Tesla question not the way I would have, which is to say he did it better. I would have said Tesla sales are down because Elon Musk is an arrogant sociopath, an anti-Semite who not only destroyed Twitter, but has alienated everyone in America who cares about, the truth.
Please stop. You hope, don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f*** yourself. But go f*** yourself. Is that clear?
But attacking people is not how Pete rolls. Instead, he buried Fox with something they profess to know but rarely display, and that's a basic understanding of economics and business.
Let's be clear that the automotive sector is moving toward EVs, and we can't pretend otherwise. Sometimes when these debates happen, I feel like it's the early 2000s, and I'm talking to some people who think that we can just have landline phones forever. The reality is that the automotive sector is moving toward EVs, and the U.S. can either fall behind China or we can claim the lead.
Okay, now let's unpack that. What Buttigieg said about competition is dead on, and the Republican Party and Fox News specifically are disingenuous when it comes to macroeconomics. It's not that hard, but they play stupid so well. I wonder who's coaching them.
If you don't like our religion, then we don't want you in our country.
First, Pete points out that Tesla has some troubles, and competition is just one of them. But the truth is the EV car market is growing, along with solar and the push for renewable energy. So as more companies enter the market, of course competition will hurt Tesla. And the fact that Musk overpriced Tesla gave the competition an edge. You don't have to be a Rhodes Scholar to understand this. By the way, Buttigieg is a Rhodes Scholar and a veteran who served in Afghanistan. The Botox twins, they don't have a chance. Fox was trying to attack Biden's incredible economic numbers and tripped over their own logic. In a thriving market, there's always going to be winners and losers. Isn't that what Republicans are always talking about?
Now, President Biden wants to make sure that those EVs are made in America, especially, again, as more Americans choose EVs every single year than the year before. We've got to make sure that those are made on American soil in places like northern Indiana, where I grew up, places like Michigan, where I live right now.
Here's my favorite part. Pete not only turns the table on Tweedledee and Tweedledum, he buries them by saying, "Buy American, you twerps," and then he mentions the battleground state of Michigan. Sally and Bobby were squirming because that's what happens when you try and BS a Rhodes Scholar. And then Buttigieg drops the China bomb on these Trump sycophants.
Let's say China. China, 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 China.
Defeating China economically isn't easy. Their disregard for the health and safety of workers and complete disregard for the environment makes them a true world menace. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not China. That's Republicans.
China, 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 China. You take China.
China.
China. I love him. China, China.
Pete Buttigieg is the prototypical nice guy intellectual who should be president one day. And like younger people, he is aware and alarmed at the effects of climate change. While Fox and Pouty McFugface mock the catastrophic effects of climate change.
Darling, is the wind blowing today? I'd like to watch television, darling.
Real Americans like Biden and Buttigieg are making the case that, should we care at all for the world we leave our children and grandchildren, now would be the time to act.
Get in the house. See it? Yes, it's right there.
Overnight, more dangerous and destructive weather. Tornadoes, high winds, and flooding rains punishing multiple states. Some of the worst damage in Kentucky, where at least 3 tornadoes touched down, the state's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Sounded like a freight train rolling through our building.
We begin this morning with that terrible accident at Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge.
In the hours after the Key Bridge disaster, while the country held their breath, Republicans showed their true colors, trading in insane conspiracy theories.
Bridge was attacked. I read an article, I don't know if it's true, or I read a tweet like, there's 2 minutes conveniently missing from the black box on the boat. And again, I don't want to be the guy rushing out and saying it was a terrorist attack or a cyber hacking, but man, you watch that video.
Pete Buttigieg, however, was in the middle of helping first responders while also gathering resources needed to not only open up the channel, but work on the task of rebuilding.
What exactly would be the pitch to any skeptical lawmaker who says, why on earth should we have to pay for this?
Well, the pitch is your district could be next.
The funny thing about Buttigieg is how damn good he is at making complex solutions not only sound doable, but inspires you along the way. As a presidential candidate, decades younger than his competitors, he reached out to young people and managed to not only sound authentic and professorial, but connected as if he were one of them. And in the same moment, offered an important insight into the fears and anxieties surrounding the Republicans' promise to end Social Security.
Now, there's something else that doesn't get talked about in the college affordability debate. Yes, it needs to be more affordable in this country to go to college. It also needs to be more affordable in this country to not go to college. This one's very personal for me. I started out this year dealing with the terminal illness of my father. I make decisions for a living, and nothing could have prepared me for the kind of decisions our family faced. But the thing we had going for us was that we never had to make those decisions based on whether it was going to bankrupt our family because of Medicare. And I want every family to have that same freedom to do what is medically right, not live in financial.
It's not without irony that a younger man would lead the fight for the Medicare and Social Security the Republicans plan to steal and then lie about it.
It will be my objective to phase out Social Security, to pull it up by the roots and get rid of it.
Republicans should be worried about the Pete Buttigiegs of America. They have disregarded the amoral Republican playbook of protecting corporations while climate change reshapes the world. And young people, even these young people at a Fox town hall, well, they like the guy.
Wouldn't your plan to do away with the Electoral College hurt a state like New Hampshire?
Well, first of all, New Hampshire's status as an early primary state is one of the things that sees to it that there is a lot of attention paid here. And it's actually something that I think forces us candidates to get out of national media mode and actually engage people in a human way, which is helpful. But when it comes to the general election, at risk of sounding simplistic, I think the right thing to do is just to have everybody's vote count the same. Look, states don't vote, people vote. And
he's extremely progressive, wants to get rid of the Electoral College.
I don't know what's going to happen in November, but if Trump somehow manages to invade our democracy and tear apart our republic, we will be in for the fight of our lives. But with people like Pete Buttigieg on our side, I like our chances.
Who's with me?
I'm just getting warmed up.
Time to pack it up.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
Am I wrong?
Damn right.
Yes.
Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
Follow, like, and please subscribe to Really American, where we keep you up to date on the latest Republican cult lie in this very important year. Hey, and make sure you join us as a member on Patreon, where we can connect directly with you and enable us to expand, make more videos, and hire more hosts. Can't do it without you. For Really American,
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.